I go through games and I always know where the goal is. My first thought is always, how can I score? I think it's actually really peaceful to come to the field by yourself with a bag of balls, and that's how I grew up playing since I was 6 years old. Being on the national team, being a professional, it's about scoring. That's my job. I'm a forward. It's a game of inches and just little margins, so that's where the training comes in. You can hit the ball a little bit to the right or to the left. It's so hard to control.
So in the morning, I get a good night's sleep, and then in the mornings I try and get out here on Alki and just kind of walk around. It's just a really beautiful place to kind of start your morning and have a positive mentality going into your day. Yoga definitely fits into my life in terms of preparation. It's great just to have that sense of feeling at ease with yourself. Stretching is a huge part of soccer and making sure that, you know, you're pretty flexible. And I just love the feeling of kind of being alone a little bit and being able to take my mind off of soccer, but at the same time, the reason I go to yoga is to help me succeed in soccer. So after my morning workout, I just like to go get some breakfast, maybe a cup of coffee. So I'm gonna head over to Alki Cafe to meet my friend Marissa, so come join me.
Good girl, you're so cute. You're so cute. I grew up here in this front yard. I first started juggling the soccer ball with my mom and dad watching.
Funny thing is, she wanted to quit when she was 4.
Every skill that I learned, every skill that I use on the field, it came right here. Competing against my sisters, being pushed by my parents.
She didn't take to it immediately, but I just said, one more year, one more year. I didn't give her the opportunity to quit.
So here we are at my parents' house where all the memories and memorabilia go. So here's Conference Player of the Year.
So weird. She just stepped on the field and just decided she wanted to be competitive.
Being the middle child, I kind of had that middle child syndrome.
And it was such a, 360. Never look back, never look back.
I think the thing about soccer, there's something about working with people, connecting with people, and being able to be so much bigger than yourself that just really does it for me.
Yeah, I actually come here every game day. And I'm like trying to be really conscious of what I eat like before a game, because it directly correlates with how you play and how you feel on the field.
Yeah.
When there's so much going on, I definitely look to my family and friends for support. I lean on them for support sometimes, but also my teammates. I feel like we're all going through the same thing. I need to be able to see them as my second family. Everyone always asks, like, how many hours do you spend on the field a day? And that's like not even the most important part of it doesn't capture the whole picture of how we prepare, for the Olympics, for the World Cup. Thank you.
My little sister just got back from a 3.5-month trip to India where she studied Vedic meditation. And a couple years ago, we all learned how to meditate. And it's been so fascinating to see how that's affected my soccer game. Just finding a comfort in yourself, reducing stress, peace of mind, and learning to accept the ups and downs of life. Soccer is just a microcosm of life. You fail and you miss passes and you feel like a failure and you let your teammates down and you have to deal with it.
I've watched the Olympics since I was a little girl, and I've just dreamt of being an Olympian, and now I get this great opportunity to go to London and represent my country. There's definitely something special about being able to pull on that jersey over your head and know that the name on the front means more than the name on the back. Tomorrow, we're actually going to Sweden. We play both Sweden and Japan, which will be a pretty good challenge for us leading up to the Olympics. Directly before the game, I like to warm myself up completely, and that includes 11+ exercises, just so, I make sure my muscles, my tendons, everything is ready to go. I've had injuries in the past, so it's so important for me to be completely ready to step out on that field and go from a standstill to a sprint.
I have 3
3 daughters, so she's my youngest. After I had 2 daughters, we were really going to try for a boy. So when we had her, you know, I was thrilled, but I was going to make a man out of her someday, you know, but it turned out pretty good.
I'm not worried about my future, about what I'm going to do in 10 years after soccer. It's about right now, you know, how I can contribute to the team's success, how I can make sure that, you know, I'm physically, mentally ready for each game. So it's really just taking it day by day and knowing that, you know, the future is so uncertain. You just need to be happy where you are right now and just have a positive outlook on it. I want to help, you know, those young girls out there tonight watching our game. I want to show them how they can get to where I am. So being able to be an inspiration for those little girls is great to me because, and honestly, it feels like yesterday that I was in their shoes.
You're my favorite player.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is my dream, you know. I've wanted to be a professional athlete since I was 5 years old, and now I'm living that life. So that just explains a little bit of how much fun I'm having.
I think that part of being a champion is failing over and over again. I don't know how many finals I've lost and titles that I've dropped and shots that I've missed when my team counted on me. I think the most important thing is to get back up and to always fight to get better. All your focus is on what you're doing. You're not thinking, oh, I missed that shot, or oh, my parents are in the stands. You're just doing what you love. You lose all your trains of thought and you're just in it. You can just play so free. When you have that moment of clarity and you see the net and the ball flies, you know it's much more than a game. You know that you're playing for so much more. It's the beautiful game because people fall in love with it, and when you fall in love with it, it can change you.
Where should I be?